Hey, Rad World, welcome back to Spoiling Thrones, the show where we talk about last night's episode of The Game of Thrones. Last night's episode was episode 6, and it was called Beyond the Wall. It had quite a few things to talk about. Not like a lot, but there's some stuff. There's definitely some things. Most of the things we're going to talk about, though, involve Winterfell, surprisingly, because that's where most of the talking happened. So that's where we're going to start. And that's with Arya accusing Sansa of betraying their family and, for her beloved Joffrey. She tells her that Sansa comes back and says that, she should be thanking her for, because she's the reason why they're standing in Winterfell. The Knights of the Vale won the Battle of the Bastards, not Jon. And while Arya was off training, Sansa was suffering at the hands of the Lannisters. So, how do you guys feel about all this that's going on? I am really feeling like it is out of character kind of for Arya.
Yeah.
But
yeah, she's very menacing.
Yes, very menacing in this episode, and felt very much not like her.
Yeah.
I don't think it was her.
Yeah, he's under the impression that it actually was not Arya.
I still feel like there's someone else with a bag of faces out there somewhere close by. I don't know. It either wasn't her, or she was just testing her, or she was just planting her own seed the same way Littlefinger did. I really don't believe that the character would actually believe a word of it, personally. But
she might be even more steps ahead of Littlefinger than Littlefinger thinks he is.
And Sansa is obviously under his spell, and she knows that. So she's, maybe the information is being relayed back. But
Right.
I also think that Littlefinger is.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and let me just throw all the points out here since it's all kind of revolves around the same thing. I've got all this stuff written in, but yeah, Sansa finds Arya's masks and kind of confronts her, or gets caught finding them, actually. That's when Arya gets all creepy and weird, and then says that Sansa's basically presses on her, trying to find out if she's really loyal to Jon or she just wants the seat of power. But Sansa confides in Littlefinger, kind of getting his advice, and he says that why don't you get Brienne involved, because Brienne is vowed to take care of both of you, and so if one of you tries to harm the other, she'd have to step in, right? So that's all these points here that just kind of seem out of character, I feel like, for Arya, but and just a little weird. I don't know. I'm not really digging this like subplot that's going on in Winterfell, but along with that same thing, might as well just let's just talk about that part right now. What do you guys got? What do you got going on?
I'm thinking that since it's so out of character for her, that she's playing much further ahead.
You think that she's just playing a game?
Yeah, and she's playing to be sent away. Like she's kind of forcing, and I think she might. Then she'll be able to like come back and.
Why do you think she told her that information? Like, why do you think she gave up all that information to Sansa? Just because she was just being honest with her, or
well,
I think she has.
I think she's probably going to come back and eliminate Littlefinger and then impersonate him. So that then his threat is neutralized, and then you don't lose the Knights of the Vale.
But wouldn't she tell Littlefinger now about this? Wouldn't she run and tell him? Wouldn't she expect her to run and tell him? That's what I think she would do.
Or maybe she's playing the game of seeing if she will run and tell him, like see how close she is to Littlefinger.
That's a pretty stupid subject to test her with, though. I mean, that's her biggest secret.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We've all said it. There's something fishy's going on there, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. What about you, Dan? Other Dan? Opposing Dan?
Oh, Dan number 2 now? I get it. Didn't say that last night, Tony. Jeez. I don't know. It's definitely a clash of perspectives.
Yeah.
Because, Arya would see it that way.
You don't think it's out of character for her? I mean, I get what you're saying, where the whole like she was a little girl when she did it at the time, but Arya's like, I wouldn't have done it. I can understand that.
It just seemed like she was.
But it's just the way she's going about it that feels out of character. Mm-hmm. And I also think that she would see through what Littlefinger's doing. But if it's what you're saying, Matt, where you think that she's actually ahead of Littlefinger, she's just playing into his game, then that would make more sense and make me. See, right this episode I feel like has a lot of what I would consider kind of bad writing or like really quick stuff happening that I don't really appreciate. But if it all comes back in the end, it could turn out to be really good writing,
Yeah.
and it just threw me off because it's like it feels very
Right.
simple. But if she's actually playing a game that's ahead, then I mean, sorry, go ahead, Sparky. I have a lot of ranting to do on this episode.
I don't know. You definitely, at least with me, you definitely have I don't know. You have empathy towards Sansa because she was forced.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, yeah, she had to do what she had to do to survive. And and that's always been a clash between Arya and Sansa, because Arya's always been the one. I mean, as it's foreshadowed later, she was always the one out there with the boys.
Right.
She was always the one out there trying to train.
But maybe it was just her throwing her weight around then, saying, "Look, I'm not the little sister anymore that you think I am. So quit treating me like that." Maybe that's why she compared it to the other little girl down there. What's her name? I can't think of her name now.
The really badass little girl.
Yeah.
Oh, Mormont. The Mormont.
She was basically saying,
Girl.
Oh yeah.
"Look how mature she is."
Right. Yeah.
You're just a big
You're gonna go-
red-headed dummy.
Yeah, you're gonna go down there and tell her you were too young, and didn't know what was
Yeah.
going on.
Maybe she was just like, "Listen here, there's some shit's about to go down. And you're gonna get sucked right in. You act like that.
Right.
She's kind of acting like a big whiny baby.
Yeah.
Maybe she was just slapping her in the face.
My thing is it's like
This is what I've done.
they haven't seen each other since they were kids, so I can understand like still maybe not being over it because it was the last time you saw them. But at the same time, they've all been through so much hell that you'd think that they'd be able to relate more on
But
like
maybe
more
that's what
adult
she was-
note
yeah.
because they're like
That's maybe she was just trying to say, "Look, this is what I've been through." And
Yeah.
that's some bad
And
stuff.
if that's how the conversation would have went, like, hey, I'm just gonna kind of tell you what I've been through, then that'd be fine. But it was like she's just so menacing and really weird
Yes,
about
it
it that it just
was.
felt very
yeah,
out of
it didn't
character.
feel like it was her
Right.
to me.
And because
And immediately
yeah,
when
and
she
you're
started doing it, I'm like, one, I thought that was his room, for one.
yeah when she found the masks, like he was like ooh because he thought it was actually like Littlefinger's room.
Wait, did he plant that scroll in her room? Or did he plant that scroll in his own room?
Because it looked exactly like the
Because
other
it was
room.
the same room, I
But
think.
but they could all look the same. Like all those rooms could look the
Right.
same.
Did
But
he
yes, it was
hide-
confusing
yeah.
to me too.
It was confusing. I thought it was his room at first too.
Yeah.
Maybe she's in on it with him. Maybe like he's leaving things for her, and she,
Yeah.
maybe it's a mutual thing. Maybe they're working together. Anything's possible in this damn show. Ice dragons.
Well, I used to think anything was possible in this show,
Yeah, but
but
like
last
you
night's
say-
episode is starting to make me go, how much is HBO writing? Like,
How do we make 1,000, zombies not get them? Well, we just break the ice. They can't.
we'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll
I know.
get there.
I'm still mad about it.
On the whole, are they who you think they are subject, Sansa receives a scroll from King's Landing inviting her to, this big meeting that they're about to have in the next episode, it looks like. And she refuses. Basically, she's not going to step foot at King's Landing, so she's going to send Brienne, which I think is kind of weird after the conversation that she just had with Littlefinger about, maybe she get Brienne involved, and now she's going to send Brienne away. Which makes me really feel like maybe that wasn't Sansa,
Yeah.
and maybe that was Arya.
Maybe,
But
see,
it
this
goes to the
comes down
question
to what
of
we're talking about. Is it bad writing or is it good writing?
right,
Are they like skipping over crap and making us think that it's just like rushed, or
yeah, or they
is this happening? And I
Right.
think hopefully something's happening like that. Then it.
yeah. And I have the question of does she have to kill somebody before she can take their
Their
face?
face?
Because
Yeah.
they make it seem that way, but then there was. I don't know if it was kind of like a dream or what, but when Arya's like pulling all the masks off of that person, and then one of the masks is her.
Oh,
Remember?
That was a hallucination.
Maybe,
hallucination?
or maybe that
Yeah.
means she's really dead too. But probably not.
Probably not. But what if?
What if? Like I say, I hope it's something.
But yeah, it makes me think that maybe that scene wasn't actually Sansa. Maybe she was sending
Yeah.
somebody's. Maybe it was Littlefinger.
Which would mean she would have to be dead then.
Right.
I just took it to be like she was sending Brienne and Arya away, like trying to.
If Arya's involved in it, it
Is
just
she
didn't seem.
going?
yeah.
Arya's going too? I didn't catch that. So
I didn't.
that could-
I was looking to try and see if they said something about Arya, but I mean they never said
That
it,
would
but it's
that would make
made
the most sense
Yeah.
if they sent Brienne and Arya away. That would make the most sense because that solves her little problem, and it makes Arya be a knight. She gets to go down and.
But she made
You
it
know,
clear she
basically.
wasn't going to be sent anywhere she didn't want to go. I mean, she ain't going to be.
Yeah, but she's gonna want to go to King's Landing.
Arya?
Yeah.
Yeah, on her own free will.
Yeah, I know, but she's got business there anyway.
I suppose if she's got Brienne to accompany her, it's a good time to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll be able to get close to Cersei.
That makes the whole thing seem less like deep, but that wasn't really very clear. So that means bad writing.
Yeah, that's kind of this whole
That's what
episode.
I'm
I feel like
getting
is
at
just
with
like
this.
a weirdly like full of like just classic movie tropes and stuff that you just like.
Like
I don't know.
like it felt like half
dull.
the show they were hiking somewhere, but yet that one dude who we didn't know could run really well ran all the way back. Like
we're,
it was
we're,
like,
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
I'm still mad about it. I'm still mad about it.
We're basically gonna get there right now. We just got through the subplot. Let's move on to what actually happened to this. All right. So John is leading a group of 13 people, which we thought there were only
I'm still
7.
mad about that
Yes.
too, Tony, because there were 6 of them.
There were 7 that left the
Sorry,
gates
7.
last week, and yeah. So
They were joined by 6 red shirts.
yes, there were, that's exactly what I've written in my notes.
Thank you. You saw it too.
Oh yeah.
Christ.
Yes, they were.
Like they're on that island and the dude falls back and you're like, where the hell did he come
Yeah.
from? Like
Yeah, no shit, right?
there was only like 4 of them, and then all of a sudden this guy's there. Like
yeah, they're all like running away. Then one dude dies. I'm like,
Who was that?
yeah, I'm like, who's that wanker?
Yeah.
Is that anyone important to worry about?
All right. Let's before we jump into all the action.
We're
stuff,
mad about it, Tony. I'm being too
You're
loud.
very crackly over there. There are a few conversations we can touch on. John tells Tormund, pretty much that he met Daenerys and what am I? Oop, oh, just messed up my notes here. Hold on a second.
Skipping ahead.
Yes. Well, not really skipping ahead, but
John was talking to who?
Daenerys. Well, he's talking to Tormund, but I don't think that really matters.
Well, it might.
the only thing that I took away from that conversation was Tormund being like, "Hey, the king beyond the wall wouldn't kneel either," and
Oh, right. That's what I was.
how
gonna
many
get.
of his people died for his pride.
Right, which is exactly what Daenerys said to him earlier, and it's exactly what he said to Mance Rayder in whatever season
Which
that
is
was.
why he does
Yeah.
what he does.
Yeah, so it's the 3rd time we've heard that same line.
He just needed a few other people to convince him that.
Yeah, and Thoros and Gendry get reacquainted, and Gendry is still upset about what they did to him, and the Hound just pretty much tells him to quit bitching.
You know, I think it was more than he was a fast runner. I know we're getting to this, but they were picking on him the whole time, like he's just the kid,
Right.
wasn't it? Like maybe that's why they got rid of him. They figured he'd be useless.
I don't know.
Well, we're sending him out. He's not going to make it back. We're all going to die anyway. We'll just pretend. Like they didn't know they were getting out of that mess.
Why are there so many pictures? Sorry, I'm just breaking the fourth wall on the show here. HBO's pictures that they sent are all of just dragons fighting. And
There's
it's
a
like
lot
I got
of-
nothing to show up on the screen right now of the people we're
Half the
talking
show
about.
was dialogue. I do like the dialogue sometimes. A lot more than the action sometimes.
Yeah.
When they give you what you want.
John and Jorah have a conversation about the sword and the family, and their families.
I felt like
and
there was more to that than meets the eye.
I don't know. It's
I
hard
mean,
to
I know
judge
he was
anymore.
saying, look, I screwed up and I don't deserve it. You deserve it, that kind of thing. But
Right.
Yeah, there was some kind of subtext when he was saying.
surely Jorah knows what the sword is capable of. I mean, does he or not?
No, I don't know that any of them know that.
John does.
John
doesn't he?
does.
Does he know?
He
that?
killed the White
That's
Walker
what I mean.
once
Why
before.
would he give it
Okay.
away if he knows that?
Because it's his family. Because John's an honorable man.
'Cause
He's
he's a
raised
good-
by Ned.
He's a good dude. His dad.
No.
He said it though.
Huh?
He keeps talking about his dad.
I know, but he thinks his dad is Ned.
He's gonna crap one day. Crap.
Well, when Jorah said, tell him to pass it on to his kids and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
it
that's
felt
when
like there was
that's when
something
John
there.
had he had like this weird you could just tell in his face he's like where he like never even thought about having children until just that moment.
and, yeah.
he had he walked away from everything. He went to the the Night's Watch and to do all that
That's-
stuff. So
that
He
was
didn't want
another
any.
thing.
He didn't want any bastards. He didn't want any.
right.
That was
bastards.
another strong.
But now
theme.
he's the king of the North and he's
Yeah.
gonna have to have kids.
Well, he's gonna have kids because he's gonna be
Can
higher
he
up
have
than
kids?
that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, he's a revenant. who knows if he can have kids?
She
Right.
can't have kids.
Well, she can't have kids. You know, she's a
gotta
Targaryen.
be the
He's a
one that has the
Targaryen too.
kids.
So who knows? He's got double issues why he might not be able to have
Why
children.
can't he have kids?
Huh?
Does that come up?
No,
I don't know.
we
No,
don't
we're
know.
just it's just he's died and come back. Like, can he even have
Oh,
kids?
gotcha.
He's also a Targaryen. She can't have kids. Maybe Targaryens can only keep it in the bloodline. So maybe she'll have a kid if she has a kid with Jon Snow. I don't know how these things work.
That's still incest, though. That
Yeah.
kid will have 3 legs.
Was there a loophole out in that whole curse that the one lady put on Daenerys, or was it just like you'll never have kids again?
I'm not really sure.
Mara
I'd have to watch it again.
Dunn or whatever her name was.
Yeah.
Oh, the Dothraki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the witch doctor lady.
Well, they know a witch that can probably reverse it. You know, maybe that's how she redeems herself, the Red Witch.
Oh yeah, because she said she had to come back and die
She can fix her uterus for her.
in Westeros.
Yeah.
she's
Yeah,
got-
because she knows when she dies or whatever.
Yeah, Melisandre.
She has to, give her uterus to her. Uterus transplant. That's what it is.
Then they'll just have shadow babies.
Doesn't she have a shadow baby? Yeah, there we go.
It would just be shadow babies.
Bing. But the baby
Yeah.
thing was a thing. That was a big thing.
Right.
Everybody's getting knocked up in the show.
Yeah, well,
so-
it was also I didn't actually put it in the notes. I just remembered it. There was the conversation with Tyrion and Daenerys about the fact that she can't have children.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the heir to
whole
the throne when
bloodline
she's
thing.
gone, and which really pissed her off to even think that far ahead.
That's a
So-
good point.
Yeah.
But it is a good point to make. Like, what if you even die in this battle? Then who's
Right.
What if you die? What if you die in the battle, but we still win the battle? Who the fuck?
That's why
who's,
that's why
like
no pun intended, but that's why Cersei's already got a leg up on him.
Yeah.
Because she's already got one in the oven. Like I feel like like she's got a sneaky plan, right? They're all like action fighting dragons, but Cersei's got something else.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
they're honorable men, so they're not playing the cloak and dagger game like Cersei is.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. She's up to something.
yeah,
And-
no,
and-
definitely. She's not just going to roll over on this thing. She's
yeah.
got something brewing. There's a reason why they're about to have a giant ass meeting,
Right.
like that she's going to let this happen. Something's going to go down next week for sure, and somebody better die because that's one of my big annoyances. Of this
No
episode.
kidding. I'm mad about that too, Tony.
The Hound and Tormund have a pretty, fun conversation about Brienne, which is really funny. And he wants to have babies
Why
with her.
does
and
everybody
it's
want to
great.
get with her?
I don't know. It's funny.
It's just very strange.
Yeah. I don't know, but it was great. It's really funny.
Yeah, they were good. That was a good comic relief.
Yeah.
Those two. But then again, they just built up the fact, of him having to save him later. It was kind of nice. They're bros.
Well, that's something that annoys me the most of the episode is that I really thought he was going to die. I know that you did too. That I thought he was going to die, and like when it was happening, I was like, "Oh man, this is sad to see him go." But I really thought he was going to die, and then he gets saved right at the last second, which was like, I don't know. I teeter back and forth. Like I like the character, and I would love to see. I love the actor too. Like he gives a great performance. I love to see him around, but I felt like it was fitting for his character to die north of the wall. Which I mean, he might still die north of the wall. Who knows what's going to happen later down the road? But I just thought that was more fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a fitting end for him to go, and like that
That was-
giant wave of whites and
Yeah.
White Walkers.
Well, hold on. We kind of skipped a scene about.
We were skipping a lot of
we're-
stuff
yeah,
here.
we're
Things
jumping
keep
around.
popping up.
You
We're-
mean the actual death that happened?
Yeah,
We're jumping around here. Let's just jump right into. If there's nothing here. Oh well, there's just the whole. Beric tells Jon that he doesn't resemble his father much.
yeah.
There's that whole thing. Yeah.
He's
But
got dark hair.
but yeah. Aside from that, let's move on to this bear attack, where you first go, wait, there's other people here because they've spent this entire like episode just walking with their core group of 7 people, and then right when the bear attacks, some dude dies, and you're like, wait, who just died?
Who the hell was that?
Yeah.
This is where the show starts to like where things just start to get like bad in like editing. Like they should have shown those guys with them.
Right, it's
Yeah,
editing
it
is
was
what it
weird.
is. Those people apparently, I was told today, were there, but not
There
in any of
was-
those sequences where they went through and in the first bit.
There was one scene when I kind of counted them because I remember there being 7, and there was one clip where I counted 9, and I was like, wait, was that 9? Like I was like
But
trying
they
to figure it
didn't
out, but they didn't
establish
establish it at all. No.
No.
Yeah, because I saw the dude with the spear.
Yeah.
He was in front, and they had one in the back, but that was it. They didn't have like all these extra guys.
Yeah, there were
that just
6
died all
extra
the time.
guys that
Why-
died.
and if they're taking extra guys, take 30 extra guys. Like, why take 6? What the hell is 6 gonna do?
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like, if you're gonna go on this
And all they
expedition,
had
like,
were
what?
sticks in their hands.
Like, it made sense to take just the core group of characters we know, or an army. Like, that's it.
and all they were doing was pulling sleds with all their stuff on it.
Is that what they were doing?
I think
Yeah, that
so.
was
So bring some
bunch of
horses.
them.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Maybe the horses like
They were
didn't-
there, written there to be just to die.
Yeah.
That was the only reason they were
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, you needed red shirts.
I did like that you could see that they kind of fashioned makeshift weapons out of some of the dragon glass.
Mhm.
Like the spears were dragon glass and
Yeah.
Well,
little
even
ar-
Tormund's
axes.
axe. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like a very primitive.
Yeah, it was almost like stone weapons.
Yeah.
And
So,
that was real
as
cool.
far as...
Jorah had the 2 daggers, the 2 dragon glass daggers.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
caught the jag.
But that bear looked amazing.
Yeah, it did.
That was probably my favorite part of the episode because it was something I did not see coming at all,
Yeah.
and it actually looked scary as shit and like looked really threatening, and I really enjoyed that scene.
I like the tactics. Like as soon as they lost sight of it, they all put their
Back to
backs to
back,
each
yeah.
other, and I liked that the Hound still just
Is afraid
like
of
craps
fire.
himself whenever fire is
Yeah.
involved.
How do you think of that fiery sword though? He just like grabs it and rubs his hand across it and just lights up.
Yeah.
Why?
One moment he didn't do that. He just grabbed it and it lit. Like,
Yeah.
Most of the time he was.
He's like he kind of struck it, but I'm curious to why they didn't like just use that as a fire for their night when they slept there, but that would have been warm.
To warm up the guy that died from the cold.
Right, exactly. Like,
That's pretty key to the whole thing
Yeah,
because if without him, you
Well, they didn't have
to.
anything to burn until Thoros died.
I know,
so-
but his sword just sits on fire whenever he wants it to be.
Yeah,
He can just
just
sit there with it on fire, just stick
sit
the
around
handle on
the
the ground
sword,
and be
man.
fine.
Yeah.
But
Roast some bear on it.
John Thoros gets hurt really bad though in the bear attack, and he gets cauterized by the sword, which I thought was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing a little whiskey won't fix temporarily.
Right. Yeah, I loved the whole story too with him and Jorah when he was talking about. He's like, I thought you were the bravest man out there, and he's like, I was just the drunkest.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's really great. So then they move forward and they come upon a small group of the undead, which they just charge. They don't like stealthily
Yeah.
like try and just grab one away. They just storm in and start fighting.
Which, yeah, here's my like chagrin with the episode because it's like a little squad with a White Walker. They're fighting off the whites, and then they actually kill the White Walker. All of them disappear except one.
That's
Yeah, that was
they must have
weird.
just been one that he didn't turn because it's supposed to be,
That's
I
a
guess.
shitty way of explaining
Yes,
it.
that's their way of explaining
Then
it.
Why the hell was it following that squad then?
He
Right.
must have
Follow
drifted
its-
away from his core group.
Don't
That
worry,
was so
we
dumb.
totally agree. It
Yeah,
was
we
stupid.
totally
so
agree.
dumb.
I'm just
Yeah, it was so.
I'm
so
playing the other
bad.
side here.
Yeah.
There weren't that many like white ones there.
Right.
There was like 4 or 5.
Yeah. Well, technically, I think the actual undead are the whites, and then
Yeah,
the
White
the ones
I
that
know
are the
that, but the guys that are clearly in charge,
The
up on
blue-eyed
hill that
ones.
don't
Yeah,
fight.
they are White Walkers.
Right.
Yeah, they're
But
like commanders.
okay, but surely then, like with what he's saying, half
Yeah.
of that group should have dropped down too in there. There
Yeah.
shouldn't have been that many of them.
right.
Well, yeah. Wouldn't you think if that was the case, if that's the spell, wouldn't you think of like in the next scene, wouldn't you think like the Night King and whatnot would have noticed that because
Right.
a few of them would have dropped in the
Right.
group, just like
Why did if
Right.
that
like what the
dragon
hell was that?
Yeah.
that dragon
You
would have
know?
set
Yeah,
fire
that dude
to
only,
the
he
three of
only
them.
got like 5 dudes, man. That's it. He's just really bad at his job.
It could have all been ended right there. If that dragon had killed the right ones, they would have all died.
Right. If he'd have killed, if he just,
If he'd have just killed the guys up on the hill that weren't doing shit
Yeah.
with the binoculars, end of the show.
Right.
At least the end of that war.
yeah.
Was that always a thing, or is that something they added? The fact that with the ones that die only die by if you kill the one that turned them.
They
Is that
haven't
new?
even gotten that
That's a
far
new
in the
thing?
books. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
See? So they
that's
just
not
spit
even-
that shit out last minute to. But it was weird. Like it was just a quickie thing. Like you say, there was one left. Oh, conveniently, one left we can
Oh
capture.
yeah, he had to have been turned by somebody else.
Yeah, it's lame. That bit.
Yeah.
What
was
does that matter?
Right.
But
it's really
those
dumb.
rules didn't
It
apply
was.
later, is what I mean. Like the key to killing them is just to kill the guys on the hill.
Yeah.
That's it. then in theory they're all dead. Even the dragon.
Right.
Well, they're all dead.
Yeah.
They'd be dead.
Dead again.
They'd be real dead.
Dead thrice.
They'd be, cold.
Maybe they turn into purple walkers after that. You know, they just go through a series of different colors.
Yeah. It started out red.
Rainbow
They
walkers.
This is where
take
they're
the
at now.
final death.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
I'm being really hard on the show this week. I do.
I
like
am
the
too.
show.
I really
do
am
like
too.
the show.
Yeah. So from there, my camera died. Otherwise, I put it on me. But I shot a movie this weekend,
Yeah,
and
you used all your
all of
batteries.
my batteries are dead.
Now you're just a voice.
Now
Tom.
I'm just a voice. So basically, when they capture the one that's left, it screams and alerts the giant horde, and
Conveniently.
they all run across the frozen lake and get trapped on a rock.
Hey, I know you're not part of my squad, but can you come help me? The rest
Yeah.
of my buddy squad just died.
Yeah, he just called back to his original squad. I know I ditched you guys,
Yeah,
but will you
sorry,
come back over here?
But it was because you didn't save enough hot dogs for me. So I went this squad, but they're all dead.
Yep.
I was disappointed that there weren't any giants or
Right.
Yeah, I will.
the.
Well,
We talked
right
about
when
that
right
too.
when the
It's so
right when the thing
mammoth.
screams, they send they send Gendry off to send a raven to Dany, which is the dumbest line ever of "You're the fastest. You have to go. Give me your hammer."
Yeah, it'll make you faster if you leave this. So go unarmed.
Yeah,
the
go
only
on. Yeah.
way we're gonna get out of here, we
Yeah.
send an unarmed man that can't fight.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, send him. And did they establish that he's like a runner ever, or that he's fast? Like
I think it was
he
just-
rode a
Yeah.
lot.
This week,
He's the youngest.
Youngest.
Today
Yeah, I
they
think
did.
that's really what it was.
he's just healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's healthier. He's the youngest.
He's the one wearing not enough clothes.
Which I guess if you
Compared
look
to
at the
everybody
bunch,
else.
he is the healthiest one in the bunch.
Yeah,
you know.
probably. Well, I mean, John's pretty healthy.
Yeah, but he's got to stay. He's in a big part of the show, Tony. He
Yeah.
can't be running off at the last minute.
And
like
he's
a
got
wuss.
the
He's the
got
king of the north.
Valyrian steel sword.
He can keep running around.
he's the key.
He's been running around Westeros
That's
for the
right.
past month and a half.
He's pretty tired. He's
Yeah.
I'm
pretty
north of the
tired.
wall. Okay, I need to take a rest here on this
like,
rock.
You guys go on without me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay here. In
Yeah.
This lake.
So they send a raven to, and right then when he says send a raven to Dany, does everybody's brain go, okay, so she's going to send a dragon and this is actually going to happen? Like, how fast does that raven fly?
Apparently, it was a text message.
Apparently,
Raven.
maybe Bran taps into the Raven and speeds it up.
It would have made more sense if Bran was just watching them with
Yeah.
ravens and shit hit the fan, and
But
then he
maybe-
sent ravens
maybe
to, or
that's what it is.
he brought a dragon to them.
Right.
Like that would have made infinitely
Way
more
more
Well,
sense.
that's what they're saying about the uncle, is that Bran sees, and that's why the uncle just appears out of nowhere.
Well, yeah,
We'll get
because-
to him too.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But yeah, everything was just convenient.
Yes, very
So,
convenient
after-
for our heroes here.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
get to that ice bit,
Let's get to
because
the
I'm mad about the ice bit.
which ice bit. It's all
Both
ice.
ice bits.
all the ice bits.
That's all the ice bits.
The icy bits.
All the bits.
Well, actually, we're kind of here with Tyrion and Daenerys and their conversation of him telling her not to go, and sometimes doing nothing is the hardest part. Basically, telling her not to go save Jon Snow, but she does it anyway.
Damn it.
Oh, spoiler.
And so she shows up with a dragon and starts killing everything.
Oh, so, they did the whole plan that we talked about the entire time. Send a dragon over to get one.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
That would have made infinitely more sense
yeah, 'cause
than
that's what I
go
was thinking.
there, send a raven to get her, and then bring it back.
Yeah.
Which, as we said,
Because
the plan
that
is
was
terrible.
my thought when I watched it last night. I was like, oh, so you're actually listening to us now.
Yep, we should just write the show.
I
That's
know,
fine.
right?
Well, it's
Yeah.
the same thing as last night when we were watching it, and the ice started breaking, and okay, cool, they can't get through. What did you say? Until it freezes back up.
Right.
So then why is it that out of the whole group, nobody made the hound stop throwing rocks over there? How did no one else think of that? But as soon as the ice broke, you went, well, it's got to freeze up sooner or later.
Right.
Which was the whole premise
I was
behind
like, they're either
it.
going to freeze up or die.
Which was how they explained the time
freeze up and
gap,
die.
too.
Yeah.
Which was also,
Right. I mean,
well, ice has got to freeze. That takes time. Gives
That
him
takes
time
time.
to run back, get the bird.
It takes time for the raven to go over.
That place looks cold. I think it would have froze up faster than any of that could have happened.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that it shouldn't even have broken to begin with. Like, just to where
how
they're
thick
at.
is that ice?
Right.
There's a whole army walking on it.
Yeah.
Which I guess is what made it break.
Well, it's what made it break, but then it freezes over night to so solid that
But
now
they
the whole
don't-
army can walk
but
on it just
again,
fine.
they don't realize it's not for that whole army didn't figure it out either. They were like just standing there, didn't realize it was.
Yeah, until Rock hit it.
How
Really
smart
stupid.
are these White Walkers?
Apparently, I mean,
They just
Not
fought like
very.
lemmings. They just follow
Well-
each other off a cliff.
I'm feeling like maybe it's more, the Night King's really far back. He couldn't tell if it was frozen or not.
Yeah, but that's
and
again
it's
stupid.
Well, again,
I'm just trying to figure out again, like like you say, bad writing, or
well, again, what would the Night King care?
I know,
You know,
but
He's
he
got
knows,
him
He
there.
knows once he gets past the wall, his army's going to swell. So what's
I mean,
a
if-
handful of whites compared to what he has?
and
to gain?
do they know who those guys even are?
I think that he would know who John is.
Yeah.
Just because he's seen him once before.
Yeah, he would know John.
True.
Yeah.
Plus, they don't. They go in the water, they don't die. So it's like they can get out.
Right.
That was the other thing
but
that
then
Clearly-
why didn't they then? At the
I don't-
first bit,
That's what I didn't
Look,
understand.
I don't think they can swim.
no, they
No,
got
but-
out earlier, and someone put the chains around a dragon, so they're getting in and out of the water. So why didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, you
That's
just
what
throw
I'm mad
the
about.
throw the chains in the water, and then have the ones that are stuck in the water put it on because they don't die.
Hey, there
in
you
the
go.
Water.
All right,
There you
I'll
go.
buy that.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
I'll
Yeah,
buy
you don't have
that.
to
But
put
but
any
then
more in.
show me it. It's a Game of Thrones. Show me it. I'll wait 15 minutes. You can show me that. That's cool. Because now I'm pissed you didn't show it to me.
Well, I was just waiting. Waiting for them, the ones that fell in the water, just like walk
Well,
and
yeah.
start walking up to the rock and chipping at the ice on the underside.
Yeah.
Or
It'd been a cool visual.
it would have, or maybe have Sander going around with his hammer cracking the ice all around them so that it didn't refreeze,
Yeah.
and then they wouldn't have been able to charge. For
I
longer.
agree. They should have done all that.
It was
But they
so-
didn't. They didn't do any of it.
Yeah. Yeah, so dragons are there.
That part was cool. I mean, it's always cool.
Right when they took off with all three dragons, I was like, definitely for sure now, one of these dragons is dying.
But predictable.
Right. We just talked about it last
Obviously.
week that Night King was going to get a
Yeah.
dragon.
But it
and-
was obvious that as soon as they got stuck, it was obvious.
Yeah, it was
what they
It
were
was just a big
doing.
setup. It was like
It was just how they got to that. is
George
what
R. R.
sucked.
Martin said, eventually I want the Night King to have a dragon, and HBO went, well, what's the easiest way we can do that?
Frozen, ice, and pebbles. that's how you do it.
But still not even the easiest. They still put an extra step in their way. They could have just flew the dragon there
Right.
to pick up. It's still a stupid plan.
It's a dumb plan.
It's not like they needed filler. There's plenty of crap they
Right.
could be talking
Is
about.
that what it feels like? It feels like filler?
It feels like filler. Why do they need it? They don't need that.
Yeah.
Whole hike was filler.
like-
They're going to be jumping around, and all of a sudden, it's like, oh, they're listening to us. Well, we got to put a bit of walking in this one. Obviously, they didn't, but it just feels like filler.
Right. It felt like filler. In Game of Thrones, usually
Shouldn't be.
usually everything's done for a reason on the
Right,
show,
yeah.
and this just felt...
That's
it-
why this one's funny.
Right.
Because normally every word that's spoken means something. You even if it's from episode 1 and it's just now coming around, it still
Right.
has meaning. There's lots of that still happening. But with the stuff that was spoken in this episode, it didn't feel like stuff that they were going to come back to me.
Right.
No.
You know?
Yeah,
it's just-
I hope that they do
I hope they
to
do
redeem,
too.
like, just because that'll redeem this episode as a whole. If they actually come, if all this stuff really has like some real significance
It's
later.
that or they've crammed
but it's-
too much of that stuff in one thing.
Yeah,
Like so many unanswered questions as well. You know, it's like I know they're building up something, obviously, but
I don't know, like, at least with me, personally, I thought the whole episode was boring as shit.
yeah. You're
Like, except when you see the actual Nightwalkers and the Night King, the assholes who have no lines.
yeah.
They're like the coolest, because you have the one handed the spear,
Oh yeah.
and then just him like the dead. Just methodically aim it and just one.
why didn't you throw that spear at them while they were stuck on the rock and just take them out one at a time with a fucking spear?
Unless he had foreseen it.
He wanted the dragon. He knew it was
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
Because that, honestly, actually,
So then that makes him as powerful
makes,
as Bran.
That makes the most sense.
It
Let's
does
talk
make
about
no
this.
sense.
Let's discuss this because this can open up a lot of what we're bitching about here. So if he knew it was coming, let's trace back the.
Well, I will say
like,
in the books, the Night King is as powerful as the Three-Eyed Raven.
Okay.
They're
Right.
kind of the yin and yang of each other.
then it has to be the case. He had to have known.
Like known it was coming.
Right.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
How
I
did
think.
he know? But how did none of them die? They were being attacked. Like it couldn't have been. It could have been. That's what am I trying to say here? Like he couldn't have controlled everything that was happening there. You know what I mean? What if one of them things did kill Jon Snow?
Well, he probably wouldn't have cared as long as he got the
As he's
dragon.
dead.
No, it wouldn't matter.
He just wants the dragon.
Yeah, he just wanted
Yeah.
the dragon to come.
I agree. I
agree.
I totally agree.
Let's hope they explain it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I hope because that's the thing too is in the book you would get that sense more, but in the show we haven't followed the Night King from his perspective at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
yeah.
and it wasn't mentioned at all by like the Raven.
if
or
they
anything,
had just
but-
waited there without the broken ice,
Mhm.
without any explanation, and then the dragon showed up, that to me would have been like they were just waiting for the dragon. But with the broken ice, it made it felt like they were.
If they were just waiting there without like the broken ice,
That
that would have
would've-
been really creepy.
that would have been
would've been
really. That's
awesome.
what I'm
That
saying.
would've been- yeah, it
would've
would have been way more
creepy. And then
impactful.
when the dragon showed up, and immediately the guy pulls out his thing, it's like it was a trap.
Right.
But with the broken eyes, it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
That feels like shitty writing.
Yeah.
That, what you said, makes way more sense, but it would have been better had they just circled him and stood there and not done, like, just stopped attacking and just stood there.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have.
It would have been really fucking creepy.
It would have been so creepy.
Yeah.
That'd have been amazing.
I loved the scene where they're bringing the dragon up because it's just dead silence.
Yeah.
Except for the chains
Tony didn't like
clanking,
that
and
bit.
It's so
What were they bringing the dragon
yeah.
up?
I loved how quiet. Like there's no dialogue. You just hear the wind whipping and
That
the
was
clanking
good.
of the chains and.
The
makes
way
it
the scene
creepy.
plays out is fine. It's my biggest annoyance with it is that it just he could have just done this with his hand. Okay.
Tony's doing this.
He could have done that with his hands like he did in that one episode where he just raised all the
All
dead
the
soldiers
dead
at
dudes
once.
on the beach that day.
And he could have just rose the dragon. The
Oh,
dragon could have
yeah.
just broken free from the ice and just that
would've
would have just
been
looked really
epic.
awesome.
That
That
would've-
would have been epic.
I just want to see him. I just want to see the dragon breathe ice too. I think
That would be really cool.
I think that's what. That'd be cool.
They really are going beat you over the head with this fire and ice metaphor.
Oh,
There.
oh,
Do
That's
people
just
literally need
ridiculous.
it?
No.
Do we literally
No.
need that? We don't, right? I mean, now it's just a dragon
No,
thing.
but
It's because it's
but
cool.
it's also
big
this is
budget.
like it's a big epic story and
Right.
it's poetry. So I mean it's got to come to an end. Like I get it.
I get it
but
too,
good
but it's
Lord.
just the way they got to it.
Yeah. Okay, my biggest annoyance is Jon Snow falling into the ice. And when you get two Deus Ex Machinas right in a row, which is him swimming out of the ice somehow, and his sword
Yeah.
being right there. That's like one. You're just like, what? How? And then his uncle just showing up out of nowhere.
If they
And,
explain that one, I'm okay with that. But it's like I keep saying today.
It just
they keep
annoys me
dropping
so
this
much.
stuff, and it keeps happening without any explanation, or without answering any questions that we've got. And we've got one episode left to the end of the season, and then we're gonna have to wait how many years till the next
It
season?
annoys
comes out?
me because it's unnecessary.
It is.
He could have just hopped on the dragon with everybody else and flown away. Like that could have been just that would have been simple. You didn't have to fake us out to think, oh, is he gonna die? Because nobody thinks Jon Snow's gonna die at this point. Dude's already dead and
what
brought
was-
back.
what was
He's
the
not
thing
gonna just
made
do that
of?
just to kill him off later.
That he
Like
threw.
he's gonna last out the story.
Iceland.
Why couldn't the dragon just melt the ice lance?
I don't know.
Why couldn't it have just spun around and said, "F you, ice lance," and just froze it, and then burned that thing, and then burned the guys on the hill? Then the credits would have rolled.
I think
and I would have been happy as shit.
Honestly, that's why I think it exploded.
Yeah,
What's
because
that? When it hit
Instead,
it?
instead of just impaling it, it just exploded.
yeah, it exploded.
been
It was,
like-
it was pretty cool.
It's literally the opposite elements.
Yeah.
colliding.
Yeah, it's probably magic. I mean, it's
Yeah,
part
right.
of part
That's
of
what I
whatever
mean.
magic
If
he
it was
has.
just ice, he could have just gone.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
End
it
of
was.
the
I mean, it's
thing.
magic because I think it's the same thing that they use to make the White Walkers.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
there's also a reason, like when the dragons breathe fire, everything just explodes all the time, like unnecessarily. It's the same reason. The ice explodes too, unnecessarily. That's just the same ability.
It's
They
just-
both have the power to blow things up.
It's magic. It's powerful.
I will say I did like John not getting on the dragon first, and going and buying time for everyone else to get on. And then I was like, and then you see him stand there and he wants to challenge the Night King. You can see him standing there and he's staring at the Night King. And you can tell he wants to challenge the Night King. And then he realizes he's got another one of those stupid lances.
Then he realizes there's about 1 million other dudes I'll have to fight
he's
too
like,
if I go.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
It was like every typical action movie when get on the bus. Oh, we gotta go. Just leave me here. It was the same thing,
Yeah.
except there was a dragon.
Yeah.
So I mean,
It was just really annoying to just have him like almost like fake die just to save him with the most random, just convenient plot device.
which was what, coming to the surface and taking a breath of air and surviving.
No, his uncle showing up though. Like even after that, like his uncle showing up just
Benjamin.
out of
I feel like there's more to that. I'm not mad about that.
And then he dies though, but they bring him in just to save him, and then
How do you know he dies?
I mean,
He's
it
already-
appears
But
as
he's
though
half
he
and
dies.
half, right?
He's already dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't
How
mean
do
he
you
can't
know he
die
died?
again.
I know, but
Maybe they're just kicking the shit out of him.
he
But no!
In
And
the-
dogpile him. That's fun. They're having fun.
in the books, Benjen Stark's character is called Cold Hands, and he's undead, and he is a servant of the Three-Eyed Raven.
Yeah,
There you
So
go.
if he showed up there, it's
That
because
explains it.
Bran
it's
sent
because
him.
Bran sent him.
Exactly.
Yes.
I think that's true. I totally, 100%. I'm in on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, then
Okay.
let's
Well,
talk
if they
about
explain, this is the thing is, if they explain that down
that.
the
They have
road,
to explain it, yeah.
then it's fine.
Right.
But if they don't explain it and they just go, the book readers get what we're doing,
Right. I'm still waiting for
Then-
answers from shit from season 2 yet.
and then it's
Putting more out there.
then it's just really annoying. It's just a
Yeah.
convenient plot device.
I mean, they could've-
and it's just bad writing.
Yeah, they
But-
could have gone to Bran and shown him watching,
Right.
and that would have.
It was an extended episode. Like it was
all
like a
we
little
needed
longer.
was a shot of Bran with his eyes rolled back in his head. Simple, fix, done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of fast motion video. to
Yeah, they
follow.
could use the same shot they already had with him
Yeah.
looking at the Ravens.
but
just use
take-
that same
yeah,
one.
take the Giants back out, 'cause
or
they
even-
weren't there.
Or you wouldn't even have to do that. You would have when Benjen's, which like a badass.
He did come in really cool.
The whole thing was awesome. I love that character.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love that character.
But as soon as John got on the horse and started riding, all they had to have done is done a shot of the horse's eyes, just wide it over,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
and then
I-
as he
that would've been
as he
cool.
gets to the wall, and then you see Brandon.
Yeah.
kinda come
That
back.
would've been
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Because you
That
had the
would've
horse
been
nowhere to go.
really
And that would have explained it. That would have explained that, and that would have also kind of explained the other event when it happened. I would have loved that, but no.
Yeah. All right.
You
So
needed $30 for 2 pair of contact lenses. Well, the horse ones were probably more expensive. $60.
so from there, John's alive. Danny waits, all at the tower or at the wall, just waiting to see if he's there.
Dress of hers was really that warm.
Probably, I don't think anything that anybody's wearing is all that warm.
She
But
didn't look
yeah,
like
but
she was
her
bothered.
flying on that with no gloves and no
You ever been on
hat.
a
She's hot all the
motorcycle in the
time.
spring?
She's hot all the time, though.
It's true.
She's hot all the time.
She is. Yeah, she
She
totally
takes
is.
besides that, she takes the
Especially in
scalding
that
hot baths
Yeah.
and stuff because she doesn't bother by heat. So
She's a dragon lady.
Right. Yeah, so she, she gets with John. They have a moment where,
Where she
you know.
needed a towel after.
she
Horses.
she tells him that she'll help fight his fight against the Night King, and he basically bends the knee without bending the knee, but
I don't like it.
yeah.
I know,
Pledges.
right?
He pledges
People on the
his
damn
loyalty.
phones.
He pledges his
You think
loyalty.
they know how to turn it off?
It's
There
always
is an
Tony's
off
phone.
button on a phone.
Mine doesn't make any noise. It's always
Mine's it's
Tony's.
just really loud.
Buzz, 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 buzz.
You think, Maddie, after 6 episodes of this shit
on a
happening
metal chair.
every single episode, somebody. Well, you know why. It's
Hold
a
on,
chair.
just hold on 1 second. All right, now I'm good.
All right, moving on. I'd switch my camera to myself, but I can't.
What do you think that Danny thought of John's injuries?
That they were sexy?
No, do you think she looked at them and went, "How come this guy's not dead?
No, she probably looked at them and went,
This guy's a badass.
"He's just as weird as me."
he's
Yeah,
just like
probably.
my ex. My ex had a
Or
few
she
scars
looked
like
at
that.
she looked at him and thought, "Oh shit, Davos was right."
Yeah,
Right.
that was my thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or she looked at him and said, "This guy's gonna like all them whips I got hanging in my closet."
Yeah. And
You think they're getting together?
she holds his hand all lovingly. She rubs his
Yeah.
thumb on. She rubs her thumb on his hand. That's only people who are
No.
together do that.
Your mom does that to you. Your aunt would do that to you, right?
Well, it's his aunt.
I'm telling you. If your aunt, if you were sick in bed, and your aunt, oh, it's okay, Tony. Oh, we'll do this on camera. It's okay, Tony. You know, she's feeling something, and she's confused.
You guys need to do that slower. It wasn't very convincing.
We'll slow it down. We'll slow it down in post. But you know what I mean, though? Is are they falling in love, or is it just there's a connection?
I think that the show is forcing a
love thing?
the love thing, and I don't think that I'm not really feeling. I don't really feel the chemistry
I'm not
between
feeling
them.
it at all.
But
And she's like, "You just rest." He's like, "All right." And he was out. He didn't care.
it's like I
she just
buy.
wanted him out the
I
door.
definitely buy into Jorah's love for her because it's been there forever. Like,
What is going to happen when they get together? What's Jorah going to do then?
he's gonna do the same thing he always does. She gets without. She
just deals with it?
Yeah, he is Captain
Yeah.
Friend Zone.
Why
It's-
is it
he's-
then? wouldn't
He's
it-
never gonna get with her. He just gotta
It's
move
a
on.
really cruel place, this show, isn't it? Like the guys that have the stuff that's not been cut off don't get to use it, and the guys that don't have any could totally use it. It's such a, isn't it ironic?
Yes. Don't you think?
I was gonna go in and sing the whole song with Game of Thrones characters, but I won't.
All right, guys. Well, that is pretty much everything we have to talk about, unless I missed something. Anybody see the sneak peek for next week?
No, I didn't.
It showed everybody meeting.
I do have
at
something that
King's
we
Landing.
skipped over a little
Yeah?
bit.
Oh yeah, you did have something you want to talk about, right?
No, it's not really. With what's his name dying? What's his name?
Thoros.
Thank you. What's going to happen
Oh,
to
right.
the other dude?
Barrick.
Because we talked about a little bit, is this something where somebody else is going to take
I
over
think.
that job?
Yeah, I was debating whether or not the Hound was just going to
We think
replace
the
him.
Hound has. I mean, my brother's set on him being the chosen prince or whatever the hell it's called. He thinks it's the Hound. But we were talking about how maybe the Hound might take over for that guy. Like he's got some special stuff
yeah.
going on now with the fire thing, and I'm scared of fire. But if I look in it, I can see shit. It's cool.
Right.
What's happening?
There's
there?
there's something happening with his character that I'm curious about.
Do you think
because
it's big, or do you think it's just like them? It's like they've made
I don't
too
think
big
it's
of a,
super big, but I do feel like they're making a big deal of
It's a
it.
drastically big deal compared to what he was, and now the fact they're all going back there to have a big meeting next week, and obviously the
Is he going to be part of this meeting though? I have no
I
idea.
don't know. I hope so.
It'd be cool.
He's the one with the zombie.
It'd be cool because he'd get to
He's
see
the
the
one
mountain
with the
again.
walker.
Yeah.
He's the one that took off in the boat with the
Oh right,
the
yeah.
White Walker. So he's got the goods.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they all have a kick-ass plan, and next week
I
just feel like they're going in blind. Don't you feel like they're just like I don't know.
I think that they've got
sloppy.
a plan.
What is
Tyrion's
it?
not going to let them
go.
go.
Plan?
Tyrion's not going to let them just
She
walk
doesn't
in
listen
there.
to him.
I mean, I guess his plan was to talk to Jamie.
She doesn't listen to him.
Yeah, right.
Nothing Tyrion has done so far has got them anywhere.
No, which sucks because he had
He's
some really
useless.
good plans. In the first episode, when he explains his plan,
That's
all
why
of
she
us
had
were
to
like,
say,
"Yeah, that's a
"Oh,
perfect plan."
Don't
None of
worry,
it worked.
Tyrion. I know you're big and brave. It's okay.
Yeah, Lord.
When she's talking
She's
about
like,
John,
this guy's a piece of crap.
when she's
He's
talking about
okay,
John,
yeah.
she's like, "He's too small for me." And Tyrion's sitting there. She's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't mean."
Yeah, right. Because she only dated big dudes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that just a lot of...
Dario was not in the show. Was not a big dude.
No.
Who?
Dario
Dario.
Naharis, the
His first actor was bigger than the
Yes.
second
Hey,
actor.
Yeah.
how do you know he wasn't a big dude?
well, I mean, he might have been.
Yeah.
In the
She
book,
likes
he
big
has
dudes.
a multicolored beard and blue hair, and he's way more badass. He looks like a pirate.
Sounds like somebody from, what's that, Rufio.
yeah.
Rufio.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I
Hook.
wanted to say, I
Hook.
feel like
From Hook.
the show is trying to force her into this mad queen.
I think it's just doing the whole balance of the force. Like she's got her
Is
dark
she,
side,
isn't
and
she?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
trying to force
They're
that
trying
a
to
little much.
misdirect us, but yet some of it's still just coming across as a bit too predictable so far. Well, this episode. Only.
Honestly, what I think it is that everyone's got a hard dick for Daenerys.
yeah.
You know,
They're
all
ca-
the
they're
things
cashing
oh my
in
god,
on-
she's
Yeah.
she's the Freyr, she's
That-
she's got to be the real queen of Westeros, blah blah blah. It's like,
No, she's
Like,
definitely not.
Who cares? That's what I think it is. I think it's lip service to the fans to keep.
Yeah, they're cashing
ratings
in
up.
on what they've got. I mean, it is what we're watching is amazing to see, but I don't know. I mean, I like visually what I'm seeing, but
Yeah.
the depth is
Yeah, the depth is
there.
gone.
yeah
The
Yeah.
thrill is gone.
the thrill. I wasn't like we talked about that too. I wasn't that excited about this battle, and I definitely didn't give a shit about the people that died in it.
Right.
That's why the battles are normally so good, is when
Yeah.
people
Like-
you care about die.
Well, yeah, and on that note, yeah, because you didn't give a shit about the people who died because nobody knew who they were.
Yeah,
Right.
It's just like random guy A gets
Well, it's
dead.
not like anybody super significant. Well, I guess the
Well, Thorin.
Thoros.
I mean in the other battle that we got with the carts and the dragon and all that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
I guess the Sam's dad and brother.
Yeah,
I
but
can't
that
think
was
of their
more about the reveal
But
of
they
what the
they
dragon
died at
can
the end
do.
of it. But yeah, that was the big reveal of the dragon. But that battle, I'm saying that battle, nobody major really died as far as our core group of people that we really
No.
enjoy. Nobody really there died, but it was an amazing
it was
action
tense.
sequence. It was it was very tense and put
Yeah.
together really well. This wasn't even like a really that well put together
It wasn't.
action
It was
sequence.
like they got in the, they were just backed up against the rock,
And they're
then
like-
they stopped.
They're like retreat, and you're like, where?
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
like he said, had it been just them standing there like it was their plan to just corner him,
Yeah,
that would have fixed everything.
right. Because then the
Like
core.
battle him into the corner, and then if they just stopped and then like pulled back and left him there, like they would be like, "What the hell's going on?" What
Like,
is
and
this?
then it would be reason to believe that the Night King
It was a
let them
trap.
capture the first one.
Yeah.
That's why only one
Right.
was not killed, is because the Night King set a little booby
I feel
trap
like
for them.
we could have wrote that better. I mean, it's obviously written by humans, right? So
Well, it's written by Samuel.
It's written by
yeah, Samuels wrote it.
Yeah.
He should have just ripped that page out, scrunched it up, put it in the trash, and rewrote that bit.
Yep.
Well, maybe he's actually getting blowies from Guinea.
Maybe.
Or
Well,
Gilly,
he
or
got
whatever
distracted
her name is.
cleaning some of that
Gilly?
soup out.
Yeah, maybe then he could actually.
She talks too
understand her.
damn much
Maybe.
anyway.
She does.
She
Tell them
needed
about
something in
the-
her mouth.
All right. Well, moving on. We've been talking for like an hour, so yeah. Thanks for joining us this week on
talking
Spoiling
about the
Thrones.
poop
Anybody got
soup.
anything to plug? You guys over there, Sparky, Matt, anything to plug?
Nah.
No? Dan.
We just made a movie this weekend.
We did just make a movie this weekend.
That was pretty fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. HMMfilms.com. Don't go there right now, though.
It's kind of broken.
It'll be fixed tomorrow.
Yeah. But yeah.
At HMM Films everywhere else.
Right. Yeah. Pre-order this movie.
Pre-order it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really nasty.
But it's really
nasty
funny.
stuff. But it's very funny.
Yeah. All right, you can follow us on, YouTube here at Rad Entertainment. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at Rad Entertain. You can follow myself at Tony Walters _. And we'll catch you guys
Next
week here on Red Entertainment.
That was the theme.